Yeah, got a story tonight that's not exactly beautiful. It's not exactly something that you want to see, but I want to start off by saying that we have to really be careful with our kids and make sure that they're not idolizing the wrong people. At the same time, we need to keep an eye on our kids and protect them very well, because the enemy, the devil, is coming for our kids, and he's trying to get them in any way, shape, or form. Um, it is what it is. I mean, most people might not like me saying that, but it is what it is. Now, this next story here, not calling, I'm not trying to say that these people are the devil, anything like that. What I'm saying is that's what's going on right now. The enemy or the devil or Satan himself is trying to lure our kids away from God, to be honest with you. But anyways, looking at this story here, I saw this article here that come up. Basically, I saw this on Yahoo News Insider. It says Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears are accused of grooming siblings. A new lawsuit claims. Here's what that means. Wow. And for you, one or two people in the world that don't know or not familiar with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, Tiffany Haddish, the young lady there, one of the most talented comedians out there, super funny. Um, and before this, I kind of thought, I mean, I pretty much thought she was a decent person. Not saying that she is or that she isn't, because I don't know. Everything I'm about to tell you are just allegations right now. But she's been in a lot of movies, great stand up. And then you have Aries Spears, who seemed like he's been around for a while, which actually that's the testament to his talent, I guess, because he's one of the funniest guys, I've ever listened to. And huh, this does not look good, to be honest with you. And let's see what else it says here. It goes on to say Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears are accused of sexually abusing two minors or quote unquote grooming them. And there's been a lot of grooming lately. That's why I say the enemy is really after our kids. Like we need to, continually, you know, be be praying parents, be a praying country, because the enemy is trying to get our kids like seriously, like bad. A lot of grooming going on. Either they're grooming them, to sexually harass them, or they're grooming them trying to turn, trying to make little boys think they're girls, trying to make little girls think they're boys, and so forth. There's a lot of grooming going on right now. Um, a Tuesday lawsuit filed by one of the minors, who is now 22, details the alleged on camera abuse. Sexual abuse experts say perpetrators use their power to slowly take advantage of grooming victims. Hmm. Comedians Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears have been accused of sexual abuse of a 14-year-old girl and her 7-year-old brother, according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday. Well, and this is just me. When I see that, and I see, you know, anyone that basically where it's a case where I see sexual abuse with a minor, and let's just say the perpetrator, the perpetrators are not the parents of the minors. My first question is, where are the parents? And where were the parents when this was going on? Um, Now, there are certain instances where the parents may trust certain people and thinking that those certain people are gonna, watch their kids, watch out for their kids, and have the best intentions for their kids. Like I'm pretty sure we all know someone who we trust with our kids, but sometimes those people who seem to be trustworthy are not necessarily trustworthy. But that's just my thought. That's how I feel when that's honestly that's my first thought when I saw this here. Comedians Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears have been accused of sexual abuse of a 14-year-old girl and her 7-year-old brother, according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday. Like I said, first thought, Where are the parents? Or where are the parents? Not saying that the parents did anything wrong here. It's just my first thought. It goes on to say the lawsuit, which the now 22-year-old Jane Doe filed on behalf of herself and her brother, alleges that Haddish and Spears encouraged the siblings to act in sexually aggressive ways on camera. The Daily Beast first reported on the lawsuit. An insider has seen the documents. In a response, Haddish's lawyer told Insider the plaintiff's mother has been, quote, trying to assert these bogus claims against Miss Haddish for several years, unquote. Spears' lawyer told People his client, quote, isn't going to fall for any shakedown, unquote. Now, with that being said, I'm going to stop right there for a second. With that being said, I have seen one of the videos, and it's the video with the little boy in it. And I'm going to tell you this. What I saw with my own eyes was disgusting. I'm being honest with you. Like, if I saw someone do that to my child, wow. You know what? I'm not even gonna say anything else on that. I'm just saying, if I saw someone else doing it to my child, it would. I don't think all the money in the world would help. I'm not gonna lie to you. But move on through the article here. It says the female plaintiff in the lawsuit alleges that Haddish, who was close with their mother, okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. The female plaintiff in the lawsuit alleges that Haddish, who was close with their mother. So it looks like Tiffany Haddish was close to the mother of the two minors, or the two plaintiffs who were minors at the time. Told her she found a quote unquote perfect role for her in 2013. Wow. That's how it starts. I mean, this is Hollywood. That's kind of how they, hey, I got the perfect role for you. Even in the music industry, hey, I got the perfect song for you. And you take the bait, you don't know where you don't know what's going to happen after that. You don't know where that's going to lead you after that. Because let's be completely honest. Hollywood, a lot of evil things happen in Hollywood. I'm just saying. There are people who come out lately kind of exposing some things. I'm not going to get into that right now, but there have been some people come out kind of exposing some things in Hollywood and in the music industry. But it goes on to say, according to the lawsuit, Jane Doe met Haddish at a Hollywood studio where Haddish instructed the 14-year-old to eat a sandwich, quote, in a manner that simulated the act of fellatio, unquote, while on camera. See, that's too much, man. That I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm just at loss for words. If this is true, I'm at loss for words. Once again, that's why I say you never know. You idolize people. You see them on TV. You go to their concerts or to their shows, and you're looking at the talent, and you forget that they are human, and they can do bad things too. Allegedly, the lawsuit goes on to allege Spears sexually abused the female plaintiff's younger brother during an acting gig Haddish secured for him. Spears was, quote, lusting over the 7-year-old child and molesting him through the video, unquote, which was called Through a Pedophile's Eyes, according to the lawsuit. Mm. The lawsuit included still shots of the alleged video, which Insider obtained. That's the video I actually saw. And I'm telling you, it says here that Spears was, quote unquote, lusting over the 7-year-old child and molesting him through the video, unquote. That is in my opinion, that's a light description of what I saw. Accurate, but light. Um, wow. This is. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Coming from a black man in America and someone who loves watching and listening to comedians, someone who loves movies. I used to love them. I look at movies and TV shows differently now than what I did, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But in the black community, things are hitting us real hard right now. And I'm going to tell you this, we have no one to blame but ourselves. Because certain quote unquote powers that be, they, in a sense, they think we're shallow minded, and they think that we would pretty much do anything for a dollar. I mean, it seems as though most of the people that are selling out in Hollywood right now just so happen to be black people. We want to be rich and famous and idolized so bad that we would do anything, sell our souls for money. And I don't care how rich or how wealthy you are, it can all be gone in a day. But too many people in the black community are selling their souls out right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying black people are the only one, but I can only speak as a black man in America and how it would affect my household and my family. I and not only this, not only pedophilia, but also, and people gonna hate me for saying this. I don't care. The the LGBTQ community is running rampant through the black community. I mean, it is what it is. Fatherless households really hurting the black community. I mean, go look at what's out there. The evidence and the proof is right there in our faces, but we just refuse to acknowledge it. We're so caught up, and even as parents sometimes, but definitely as when you're a teenager or a young adult or small kid, you see someone on TV and you idolize that person just because you see them on TV, or just because they can throw a football or dribble a basketball, or knock a baseball, knock the cover off of a baseball. You know, we idolize those people and we want to be like them. But you have to realize that these people are human beings. They may have extraordinary athletic talent. They may have, comedic talent. They may be great actors. They may even be great politicians, but they are human beings. So that's why I always say, whether you're in the black community, white community, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, whatever, stop. Do your best to make sure that your kids are not idolizing these people. I'm just saying. It's wow. Sometimes I'm just at a loss for words, to be honest with you. The article goes on to say here, these allegations of sexually abusing minors after gaining their trust, or quote unquote grooming them, have come against Haddish and Spears 2 years after Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein was charged with rape and several counts of sexual abuse of budding actors. See, another guy who, you know, took advantage, supposedly, or allegedly, of people who want to be actors. With grooming, sexual abuse does not happen right away, according to sexual abuse attorney Paul Moniz. I think that I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the attorney's name right. It's either Mons or Moniz. It's a slow process where a perpetrator will use their status, money, or other forms of power to win a victim over. Then they make increasingly inappropriate requests as a way to quote unquote test their victim, Moniz wrote in a 2020 article for Los Angeles Times. Wow. And also, the next slide here, well, let's see, not this one. In doing this, they erode the victim's boundaries so they act in ways they otherwise may not, said Moniz. As a result, a grooming victim may continue a relationship with their abuser, denying the reality of the situation as self-protection, Moniz wrote in the Los Angeles Times. Quote, in the vast majority of these situations, victims do not react by physically or verbally resisting the offender, reporting the offender, or even fleeing at first touch. Rather, the victims become psychologically and emotionally paralyzed, overwhelmed by a combination of fear, self-blame, embarrassment, and confusion, unquote. Moniz wrote in an op-ed. Representatives for Spears have not responded to Insider's request for a comment. Read the original article on Insider. Um, Goes on here. This other now I just saw this maybe a couple of weeks ago, and when I read this, I was thinking, okay, good for her, and maybe maybe I'm assuming um this stand she took here maybe it's happened since the other allegations. It says Tiffany Haddish reveals why she turned down a $10 million offer, and basically she goes on to say, it's just not worth her soul. So maybe, she maybe allegedly did something wrong, but now she's like, you know what? That's not me anymore. I don't do that. Maybe maybe she realizes that what she did was wrong. If she did it. Not like I say, these are still allegations right now. But she basically says that as it read, sometimes it's just not worth it. Basically, from what I'm getting out of it, she's saying she does not want to sell her soul for the sake of the business, which is a good thing. If she's had that revelation, that's a great thing if she's had that revelation, and I hope she has. But unfortunately, maybe a situation where her and Aries Spears both may have to answer for what they've done. Of course, Aries Spears, uh, he he was in the news obviously lately, because he was basically clowning clowning Lizzo. Um, it's it's sad, and I can never say it enough. We need to pray for this country, pray for our kids, and even these so-called people in Hollywood that we may not like. We may know that things are a little weird. That's why they call it Hollyweird, I guess. We need to pray for them. Pray for them. That if there are if this is true, or if there are any other things out there going on like that, we got to pray against it. That's the only way we're going to be able to defeat it. Because at the end of the day, we're in a spiritual war, whether it's a political thing or if it's a Hollywood type thing. It doesn't matter. We're in a spiritual war, and you can't fight you can't fight the spirit in the physical. You have to fight the spirit in the spirit. Demons are a spirit, so you have to fight them spiritually. Um, I don't know. What do y'all think about this? You know, like I said, when I first saw it, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, hopefully it's not true. Then I saw the video, the one they're describing in the article here with Aries Spears and the little boy. I mean, you have a little boy, you know, I just see. See if you guys can find that video. I'm not. I don't really want to talk about it. It's just disgusting. But yeah. What do y'all think about this? You know, do you believe they did this? Do you believe this is just allegations? Uh, if you've seen that video, what do you think about it? Because I remember the same. Honestly, I remember back when I first saw that, what we supposedly allegedly thought was the R. Kelly video back in the day. And that was all the way back in 2002 when I first saw that video. My wife and I was actually at a house party, and they're like, "Hey, did you see the video?" I'm like, "What video?" It's like the R. Kelly video. I'm like, "No." So they had the video, and we were looking at it. It was like, wow, insane, sick, disgusting. Um, and the video I saw, this video here that was described in this article, kind of felt the same way about. Actually, I know I did feel the same way about it. But Let me all know what you think about this. Leave your comments. Please like, share, subscribe. And like I said, all comments are welcome as long as they're tasteful and respectful. And as I will probably always tell you before I say peace out, stay prayerful. Stay prayerful. See you.